Hello everyone, my name is Ibrahim and I'm on the path to learning data analytics. So if you've been in the data analytics and Power BI field for a while, you've probably heard of the concept of date tables. So in this video, I'm just going to be walking you through what a date table actually is. And to do that, I'm just going to create like a blank report. So we're going to build some simple time intelligence, visuals and reports, just to illustrate what a date table is. So a date table simply helps you to, slice and dice your data based on certain date attributes. So to paint a picture for you, I'm just going to create a blank report. So I'm going to import like a data set I got from Microsoft. It's like a Microsoft financial sample data set. So I'm just going to import it over here. So we're just going to wait for it to load. So I think here's the table we need. So usually most data sets would contain some, basic date columns already that you can use. In this case, this data set contains like columns for date, month number, month name, and year. So this can pretty much, you can pretty much go with this if you want, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna try to create like a date table from scratch. I'm going to show you how you can create all these columns from scratch, and might also include some extra columns. So let's just load this into Power BI. So once it's all loaded, we can start creating our date table. We have over 700 rows loaded. So to create our date table, we're going to navigate to table tools or table view. So you're just going to click on new table. So first, let's just name this date table. So first we need to create like a basic, calendar, date. It's just going to contain like basic date and time. So to do that, we're going to use the calendar auto function. You could include fiscal years in here if you want to, but in this case, I'm just going to close the bracket. So it's going to generate like some generic, dates. It'll include like, dates and time. So based on these dates that we've created, we can extract certain columns from it. We can extract the month, we can extract the day, the year, and the time. So first of all, let's create a new column. And for this, we can create a year column. So to do that, we're going to extract the year from this date column. So the function is pretty easy. We're going to use the year column. So based on the date table, we're just going to close the bracket, click on enter. And now our year has been extracted. So it starts from 2013 all the way to 2014, I guess. So next we can extract a month number, column, and basically the month number columns will help you, sort your dates properly. So for example, if you're trying to build your visuals, usually our dates are going to be sorted alphabetically. So you can use the month number column to sort it the way it's supposed to be. So let's just create this. We're going to go to new column. And we're going to call this month number. So this is also quite easy. We're just going to use the month function. So based on the date table, close the brackets. So we have all our months extracted. We can always verify to see, and it seems we're good. So next, let's create we can create like day, but first let's create a month column. This is going to be a little bit complicated, but not too complex. You can pretty much get the hang of it. So we're going to use the format function, and this function just basically allows you to format, your column in a specific way. So this is going to be based on our date column. So we want it to be formatted as so. So this is going to be the format for month. So we're just going to close the bracket. Let's see if it actually works. And yeah, it actually works. We can always verify. So we have a month column created. So lastly, we can create, let's see if we can create like a year month column. So a combination of the month and the year. So we're just going to call this year. I think it's going to be best to call it month year. So we want the month to come first before the year. So that is going to be, we use the format function, and it's going to be based on the date column. So we're going to format it as so. So the month is going to come first. So it doesn't matter, you can capitalize it or use small letter if you choose, but I'm just going to leave it as this. I guess, yeah, works. Let's see if it works. I think there's a mistake here. Oh yeah, we forgot to, close the parentheses. So let's try this again. Actually, I think we need just one bracket over here. And yeah, there we go. So we have a month year column created. So you can create as much as you want, but to save time, I'm going to show you a way you can just speed run this to make this much more faster. So to do that, we're going to use the help of our best friend, ChatGPT. So I've already prompted ChatGPT to help me create a comprehensive date table. And here's the DAX code it generated. So our dates start from 2010 and it ends in 2030. And ChatGPT helped us, it includes all these columns, which is pretty useful. So we have a month short, just like a short format of the month, JAN instead of January. We have for quarter, which is really useful, especially for stakeholders. We have day, we have the day of the week. We even have like weekend, just showing if it's the weekend or not. So let's just try to copy this. I don't think I need this. I'm just going to copy, let me just copy all of it. I'm going to like get rid of some things I don't need. So to do this, I can just create another date table. So to do that, I'm going to navigate back to our report view. I'm going to go to table view. So table tools. So that will be new table. So this, we can call this something else completely different. I think it's just going to be the same as date table. So we can copy and paste this. So let me just get rid of this one because I don't really need it. Let me remove this extra comma over here. So let's see if this actually works. Let me click on enter. And yeah, it works. So we have a table over here, down here. So yeah, pretty much works. So we have this date table created. So we're going to try to build like some simple visuals with this date table. So before we do that, we actually need to join a date table with a financials table. But first, let me mark this as date table. It's pretty useful based on the date column. So let's just save this. And yeah, we're good. So let's try to join this financials table on the date table. So to do that, we're going to navigate to model view. So to join, we're just going to find like similar columns we can join on. So it seems we have the date column over here and over here also. So to join, we're just going to drag this all the way to the, actually, let me try this again. I'm going to drag this all the way here. So we're just going to verify if, it does exactly as it's supposed to. So it seems so good, and the relationship is set to 1 to many. So let's save this. So we have it all joined. So now we can start building our visuals. Let me try to verify it real quick. Okay, we're good. So let's go back to report view. So let's build some basic visuals over here. So first of all, we can check the first visual I'm trying to create is to check the total revenue by year, just to see how the business has been performing in sales throughout the year. So to do that, we're probably going to need a measure for total sales. So let's create a new measure over here. So we're going to name this total sales. So the DAX function is pretty easy. So it's going to do the sum of the sales. So let me just close the bracket and click on enter. So now we have our first column created, our first measure created. So the next measure we can create is total profit. It's actually going to be also pretty useful. So we're going to click on new measure, and we're going to name this total profit. So we're just going to do the same thing, the sum of the profit. Now, based on this, we can build some simple measures. So first we can check the total sales by month, year, for example. So let's do just that. So let me just create like a simple bar chart. So we're going to include a total profit, and that is going by, let's check out month, year, see if it works. And yeah, it works. So we have our first, visual created. So you have a total profit by month, year. So the next visual we can also create, we can actually use, actually I don't think I'm using the right thing here, but I don't think it matters. Let me see if it works. I should be using this table. We have 2 data tables over here, but yeah, let me just try this one more time. So let's try out our total sales by quarter. Okay, so we seem to have Q4 leading over here. We can do as much as you want. Lastly, let's try to create something that's a little bit more, unique. So let's try out the total sales by the is weekend column. So just checking if it's a weekend or not. So I'm just going to format this in a pie chart. And as we can see, we seem to be making most of our sales on a weekday. So you can do so much with this. That's just the benefit of having a date table. You could include as much columns as you want. You could include certain holidays. You can include fiscal years. You can do as much as you want with this. And your date table can get as comprehensive or less comprehensive as you want. There are various templates you can use online that you can simply just import into Power BI and use to create some useful time intelligence reports. So I hope this was helpful. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.